Hey guys, welcome to another Jafo Paints video. Today we're working with Massive Darkness. We're still in the Warrior Priest versus Spear Maiden Cyclops box set. As I slide the old man around, we are working with Malleus the Warrior Priest. There he is in all of his miniaturific glory. Yep, that is a word. I made it up. Copyrighted. Can't copy. Actually, I don't really care. So take a look at the model. Looks pretty decent. He's got a lot of silver on him, as you guys can see. A lot of purple for his cloths. And yeah. Why do I have that color in there? I don't need that color. So, a quick go through all the paints that we're going to use for him. Since he does have skin tone, sadly, we'll use our three-part combination: Cadian flesh tone, a Reichland flesh shade wash, and a Kislev flesh. The majority of his armor is going to be done in lead belcher, washed in null oil, if I show you the actual color, and then highlighted and brightened up with iron breaker. He's got some gold bits on him, which will of course hit with Retributor armor. We'll do some Administranum Gray for his old man beard. We're going to hit the cloak with xerces Purple, and then we'll wash it with Drukei Violet, which will give it a deeper, darker purple look to it. For leather, we'll hit it with XV88, as always, and wash that with null oil. For the book covering, we'll give it a Dryad Bark that'll give it that more woody leathered color. And then he's got a couple of gemstones on him, I believe I saw. Yep, he's got a gemstone right there. And if we look at the model, it is right there. So we're going to hit that with Stormhole Silver and Soulstone Blue. But the first thing we're going to do, let's get all the big parts out of the way. So we'll do all of his armor. Give your lead belcher a good shake before you apply that to your palette. Give our brush a good cleaning. That's all the clicking you hear back there. And then it's time to do painting. So, silver there, and there. His big old man leg here. His mace is all silver. Back here, make sure you get the silver on that side. And then actually his head is silver. The top of his head is silver. So I will clean this all up. I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. There we go. We got all of his armor and his main hand weapon done. So the next thing we're going to do is everywhere that it's silver, cover it with null oil. I'll be back when that's dry. There we go. With the null oil applied, we've now given his armor a lot of character. It has brought out a lot of the depth in it. I realized that I'm an idiot and I didn't paint the backside. So when I'm cleaning this up, next step is to use xerces Purple. And we're going to do all of his cloak. That's all back here. So I'll just kind of play the paint by numbers for you guys. So we got back here, we got his hood. We got the front. And then you want to try and get in. He's got in his sleeves. He's actually wearing it as a, as his first layer. So, it looks like that. So I'm going to clean this all up, patch up the pieces that I missed, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. There we go. We've now added the xerces Purple to him, and that has just made this miniature just pop. I think he already looks amazing. We're, of course, got to finish him up because he looks kind of dumb without, his face painted in and shit. He looks unfinished. So, the next step to do with that is some Drukei Violet. Everything you've done purple, We're going to put a purple wash over that, and that's going to bring out the cracks, the crevices, the tatters in his robes, everything. That's going to make it look amazing. So I am just going to, well, I'm going to let this dry properly first before I do that, and then I'll do that. So I'm going to get that, let my paints dry, let my inks dry, and I'll be back after it's done. There we go. We now have the Juki Violet. That's what we did. Sorry, my brain shut down for a minute. So now we're going to do a rapid-fire series of paint add-ons, and I'm not going to show you every step. I'm going to kind of explain what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. So, on the book, we're going to use Dryad bark. It'll give it that kind of dark leathery look to it. On all of the leather, which will be the belt, pouches, the pouches, all of that, we're going to hit it with some XV88. His flail, mace, censer, whatever, we're going to use some Retributor Armor Gold, as well as his prayer beads down there. The edges of the book we're going to hit up with Ushabti Bone to kind of give it that paper look. On his face we're going to use some Cadian Flesh Tone, and that'll go on his face and on his hands. Make sure that I check what he's all got on him. So these are going to be just a bunch of little steps. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. Once his face is done, we'll put Administratum Gray over his on his beard, and that'll cover the beard up. So once that's all done, I will be right back and show you what he looks like. And there we go. We have all the additional colors added to Malleus. So as you guys can see, I did the flesh on his hands. I've leathered up his pouches. Thank you. My brain shut down, guys. I've given that book a little bit of a look, and I put the gold leafing over the edges of it. We put gold on his chain and on his censer flail. All that's really left to do, well, actually not really left, but the next step to do, let's be honest, guys, this is me doing this, and there's nothing left to do, or there's tons left to do. But the most important one for me is we're going to hit all of the leather with Nuln Oil, which will deepen the color and make it, give, at least in my opinion, give it that more leathery look. So we're going to do that, and that's it. So you can stop here if you want, or we can keep going on. So what we're going to do to continue with him is we got a couple of colors left here on the side, and it really isn't a whole lot left for him. So the next one we're going to use is Ironbreaker, and we're going to brighten up his armor just a little bit, so it's not as depressing looking. Remember, these are the heroes of light going into the darkness, not the, you know, the heroes of slug.
And remember, he's the one who makes all of your shadow moves, light moves.
True, I believe, yep.
Because he was the one that I played.
No, that's not him.
No?
Shadow mode skill, attack +1 diamond, special skill, all class skills cost him 1 less XP.
Oh, what was the one that I played? I swear it was.
Must have been the other warrior priest. Alright, so we got our Ironbreaker in. I'm going to paint the inside of his chest plate here, like inside the folds. There's a, not a fold, but there's like an overplate on it. So I'm going to paint all this inside, and that'll brighten that up a little bit. And we'll bring that around into the back. I'll paint some there, and probably on his helmet. And I'll be right back, and I'll show you what that all looks like. Alright, there we go. You can see the difference in the spots that I've put the lighter colored metal. I did it here on the handle. I did it on the kneecap there, on the elbow pads a little bit, and on the chest and the little circle on his forehead. I think that brings out a nice depth of character, depth of model. Kind of just makes it stick out really coolly. This has been a real easy one to do. So there's lots of little things you can do to pick it out and make things better. You know, a light touch of the leather brown on these bags will kind of give it a little bit more life, but this gives it that kind of used, crushed leather, like the Warrior Priest has gone into. That he's seen some shit, man. You know,
He probably has. That's why he's so prepared.
could be.
With
Dude's like loaded down with everything, man. Like if I noticed as I was looking at him, is like he's got a sword, he's got a mace, he's got like a censer flail macy thingy, he's got a spell or prayer book, he's got a prayer bead.
Well, it's like he is a warrior priest, so it's like he's got to have both priest stuff and then be able to be a warrior.
So we got the last step, and this is just gonna make him, you know, well, okay, the second last step. I still gotta clean up his base for you guys. So we got Dawnstone as always. That's what we've been using for basing. But the last steps here is some Stormhost Silver and then the technical Soulstone Blue. Normally I don't paint straight from the pot because I just don't. But for this, because I'm using literally like very little dab, and I switched over to my Wargamer Detail paintbrush by Army Painter, and I found that it's just nice and thin. We're gonna put, I don't know if you guys can see this, I'll bring it as close to the camera as I can. I'm just literally putting a small dollop of paint right there, and once that's dry, we'll clean our brush, give our technical paint a good shake, crack that open. It's got that nice milky thick blue color, and we're just gonna plop, in fact that's still too much on that brush, I'm just gonna put just a small layer there, and that's just gonna give that nice sheen
Of a gem.
of a gemstone. There you go. So that it looks pretty cool. So all I got to do yet at this point for him is I've got to do up his base. I'll do that. I'll be right back and show you what he looks like and give you the final view of him. And there we go. We now have our basing done. And that is Malleus the Warrior Priest. Looking pretty freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. Now, there are many things you could still do to bring this up and to spend way more time. This is just something that I cracked out in like an hour, hour and a half. And I think he looks amazing. As always, I'll show you. You're not going to see much, but that's really where you're going to see your model. Again, that arm's length, that distance. A lot of my friends and I, when we do our painting, we always consider the 3-foot rule. It's pretty much hold the model at arm's length. If the model looks good at arm's length, that's already a step in the right direction, because that means it's going to look good on the tabletop. So this has been another Jafo Paints video. This is the Warrior Priest Malleus. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up if you found anything interesting, anything useful. If you are still not subscribed, please subscribe. We've got a ton of content starting to come out soon. And if by the time this video goes up, actually, you should see regular updates from my channel. We've got gameplay video of this. We got gameplay video of a dozen other board games. Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar content. Everything else. If this video still does not motivate you enough to paint and you need somebody to do the painting for you, contact us at the link down below, www.facebook.com/WarhammerPP. That is our painting studio, and we will get a hold of you and we will work together to paint up your miniatures and get you some awesome looking things for your tabletop. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.